Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Two Average Brown Boys podcast. I'm your host, Prashant,
And I'm your host, Andres.
and today is July 5th, 2021. What's up, Andres?
Not much, man. I'm just living life, and I'm just glad that the heat wave in Saskatchewan is finally over. Because, man, the past couple of days just have been something to live. And without AC at times, it is harsh. How about you, man? What's up?
Not much, man. So, yeah, I had, I was here, but then I went on a family trip last Wednesday and came back Thursday, and then I went another friend's trip on Friday and came back just, literally earlier today. We are recording this on a Sunday because of that. But so the first trip I did was to Kenosi. Me and my family, we drove down to Kenosi for the night. It was more like a staycation just to get away from, Regina. My parents had been working extra, like lots of overtime because of COVID, but they finally had some chance. So we went down to Kenosi. We just did like a little bit hike. We went around the lake. It was a lot of fun. And then we drove back Thursday. And then Friday, me and one of my friends, we actually drove to Banff. So like a 9-hour drive from Regina. We left around like 9 in the morning, got there around 6. But the funny thing is, there's lots of heat waves happening all over Canada. But as soon as we got to Calgary, there was like torrential downpour of rain. And it just at times we literally had to like slow down to like 60 kilometers an hour because we couldn't see anything in front of us.
Oh, wow. That is something. You literally escaped the heat wave in Calgary then.
Yeah. Like by the time we got there, it's rain, and it rained pretty much until Banff, where the national park side, and then after that it was pretty dry. So I think the mountains kind of shielded the rain. But like the forecast did say it was supposed to rain all weekend, but luckily it didn't rain. It was getting cloudy by the time we were about to leave this morning, so it probably rained today, if anything. But this whole weekend it was beautiful. There was a lot of wildfires, so Saturday night, like we kind of noticed the smoke kind of roll in, and it was like really hazy. But other than that, it was a lot of fun. I did a couple of hikes. There's the one hike I really wanted to do was a Bow Glacier Falls hike. So I don't know if you've been down that road on the way to Pedro Lake. There's Bow Lake, and we just went all the way back to the glacier. And then, after going to Banff pretty much every year for the last 6 years now, I think, I finally got to do the Tunnel Mountain hike. So, it's only 2 kilometers each way, but the incline is pretty good. The signboard said it's Banff's more popular hike, which makes sense because you can pretty much walk from town all the way up to there.
Yep.
And then we also did the drive up to Mount Norquay, where there's like a pullout and you can see the Banff town from the other angle. So, just like a overview of Banff, that things that I wanted to do in the past but didn't get a chance, finally got to do it. Of course, like always, Lake Louise and Moraine Lake, the parking lot was full. So couldn't get in. This is like the third year in a row where I've tried, but the parking lot pretty much fills up at we got there at 6:30 and it was still full, so.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And I mean, it's also the summer, so sunset is pretty late. So pretty sure anyone going after 6 or 7 is there just to catch the sunset through the mountains, especially in both of those lakes. It's gorgeous. I'm pretty sure it's gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess that kind of ties into my what I learned for this week is that if if you're visiting Banff for the first time from international or even locally or even within Canada, make sure you book the shuttle for Moraine Lake, especially because the parking lot is so small, first of all, and it fills up so fast because photographers go there for the sunrise or the sunset, and you pretty much won't be able to go in after 7:30, unless you get super lucky or it's one of the more down times. But midsummer, anytime from July to August, it's very hard to get in. Mm-hmm. So and the shuttles, I think they run every 20 minutes, I believe, because there's an overflow parking lot from the drive from Banff to Lake Louise. In the middle, around the middle part, there's a pullout where the bus shuttle comes and you can park your car, you get on, and they'll take you there. So I think, if that's a travel tip, I guess I've known this in the past, but I thought we would get lucky by the time we got there around 6 in the morning, but clearly, we were, I think right as we got there, that's when the park rangers came out and put the no parking lot full sign up so we can go in.
No, that's entirely fair. And then, yeah, Banff is just any time of the year, Banff is just popular. It's just at this time a staple of Canadian tourism.
Yeah, and even with the pandemic, Banff really hasn't slowed down. And I guess this is another thing I learned that Alberta, I mean, Calgary was a little bit better, but Banff literally had no mask, mandate inside or outside. Like, because last year when I went in August, if you were within the town center of Banff, you had to wear like a mask the whole time. But this time, literally, no one was wearing masks. Even the hotel, you didn't require to. The shops, you didn't have to. The mall, you didn't have to. So like, it's kind of strange because in Saskatchewan, I think we still have a mask mandate until like July 11th, I believe. That's the date I saw last time, but Banff is the complete opposite, where no one, pretty much like only 10 to 20% of the people were wearing masks.
No, yeah, they opened up on July 1st. So, and it's Alberta at the end of the day. Sorry for anyone who's listening to us in Alberta, but it's true. Let's be real, guys, about how everything just played out in the pandemic in Alberta. So they were like, July 1st, we're out of this.
Yep. I mean, yeah, Calgary was a little bit better, but maybe that's just like because we just stopped for brunch there, and maybe it's like a private, business that said we still require a mask. But other than that, that's what I did this weekend. That's what I learned this weekend. How about you, Andres? What'd you do? What'd you learn? Tell us all about it.
What did I do this weekend? It was a pretty nice weekend, even though like it was like super hot, sun out, like on Friday. Like we got all the way, I'm pretty sure, to 39, 40 degrees, which I'm just like, it's not possible that it's way hotter here than it is back in Mexico City. There's no way. And it's just completely different. Mexico City, it is raining, downpours and everything. I was like, oh God, so different. But Friday I went down to the Dog Beach Park, and I think like for Sherlock, even though we have an AC in the apartment for for a little bit, I'm just like, what, he's probably wants to go outside. And honestly, the river is like a nice place just to chill out. The water, because we're still up north, water is still pretty chill. So we went to the dog park, and that has a beach, so it was just nice, very like there. He really was really hot. So literally, as soon as we got, it was so cute. As soon as we got to the beach part, I took him out of his harness and he just ran into the river. And usually Sherlock is a type of dog that he likes water, but he will just like walk around or run around in the like by the shore where he can still feel something. But this time he was so hot, pretty sure, that he just lay flat on the river. Like he didn't care if like the little current or like the tiny little ripples were trying to like starting to get on his face. He was just like, I'm just gonna lay down. It's super hot. So that was very cute. So we did that on Friday. And then Saturday, a very good friend of mine came up from Regina, so, and then we went for sushi because we love sushi. And then we went paddleboarding, which was very fun. We went down to Poplar Bluffs. Very nice little beach outside the city, I would say. Not too busy like other parts. And then we just did some paddleboarding with the inflatable stand-up paddleboards. God, that was such a workout. And I was like, I was not ready for this workout to inflate this thing. But it was a lot of fun. We've been getting to that part of my time in Sask, in which it's time to say goodbye to a lot of people, which is it is sad, but at the same time it's exciting because I get to reunite with friends, and also with restrictions easing down, it makes it a lot easier, and I feel a lot more comfortable hanging out with my friends that way. So we did that. And then today I just went to today, that is Sunday, I just went spinning with my friend Evan, and then we just ran some couple of things here and there after class, which was fun. And then other than that, I just chilled. It was just like, honestly, the heat really exhausts me. Like I could do nothing all day, but just like as soon as I step outside for like 30 minutes, that's enough to knock me out for hours later. And in terms of what I learned this week, I actually learned something pretty nerdy. So, 4, 5, 6 fold symmetries, and apparently 5 fold symmetries are nearly impossible in crystals based on kind of like geometry of like a pentagon and things like that. Getting a 5 fold symmetry is pretty hard. So just watch a pretty good, interesting video of how people have dedicated their lives or studying how to make sure or how to make happen 5 fold symmetries, and then creating patterns that when they expand into infinity, they will never repeat themselves, even though they're composed by the same shapes. But no matter where in the on the plane you're looking at, apparently the pattern will never repeat, which I found pretty interesting. But once again, it's pretty nerdy, but it was pretty cool just to see kind of like that symmetry part, and that there's infinite patterns according to certain figures that you have and following certain rules. So that was pretty cool to see.
That's amazing. Yeah. I guess we should rewind a little bit. The reason, most of us had a long weekend was because Thursday was Canada Day. So happy Canada Day if you celebrate it, and if you don't, just another day.
Yeah, and then both of us, Prishank and I, we decided Friday will be another day off because what's the point, right? Like it's right there. So then, yeah, we had an extended long weekend for for Canada Day, which honestly we all deserved it. It's been a year, and it was just nice, just like having such a long weekend, because usually long weekends are only 3 days long, but this one was 4. So
Yep. And then to our American friends, today is, or yesterday, I guess, when this podcast episode comes out. Yesterday it was Independence Day, July 4th, and to those that celebrate it, happy 4th of July. And if you don't celebrate it, just another Sunday.
mm-hmm.
So that's a perfect segue to today's topic, which are like holidays, which festivities and holidays. What like some of our favorite holidays, what we like to do for holidays, and how we celebrate it. So why don't you start with your favorite ones and how you celebrate it, Andres?
Yeah, sure. So, for myself, I would say when it comes to holidays and ones that I truly enjoy celebrating, the first one, top of the list, is Christmas. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays there is. Just the entire Christmas season is just, it's just magical, and I really enjoy spending time with family, and usually Christmas is the one time of the year that I for sure see family. And growing up both Catholic and Mexican, Christmas just has so many traditions for us that honestly we have something to do from December 12th until January 7th or somewhere around that time. So it's almost a month that we always have something to do. So it's either celebrating a particular saint, a particular lady, or just other, religious celebrations. But at the same time, some traditional Mexican celebrations in order to prepare ourselves for Christmas. And then we have Christmas Eve, which is our big dinner. We do our big dinner and our big celebration in Christmas Eve, not on Christmas. So Christmas for me is just one of those holidays that just means a lot, just based on the significance of what it represents, but also culturally and family wise and tradition wise, Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. And then my very close there, like it's second, but really I would like to say it's like first B, something like that. It's Day of the Dead. Dia de los Muertos is one of those, like I mentioned in like previous episodes, like I've connected a lot more with my Mexicanness, if that's even a word, while I've been abroad. And Dia de los Muertos was one of those holidays that I could claim back and really celebrate and embrace that part of my identity. And it is just such a beautiful holiday. And during school, like back home, we learn a lot about things to do with Day of the Dead, where it comes from, the significance of it. And then we learn the significance in different parts of the country. And we learn about the altar that we put. So for me, being abroad, it is one of those holidays that I can, like in a certain way, I feel connected, that I can celebrate away from home. I mean, when it comes to Independence Day, yeah, it's there, but I cannot truly celebrate it, or in a certain way celebrate it as big as I would celebrate it back home. I am far away removed from it. That it is, and also like I don't get a day off, to host celebrations. So it feels different. But with Day of the Dead, it is something that I can actually, in a certain way, still do, because it also aligns somewhat with Halloween. So there's many other things happening around the same period of time that I'm able to, in a certain way, connect with it. And it is just the more I learn about every year, the more I get to connect with that holiday, the more it means to me. And then at the same time, it's a good way, once again, to connect with family, because that's also the time that I use to connect with my parents and just talk about our grandparents, like my grandparents, uh, what they were like, learn more about them. And for me, for some reason, I find it comforting putting up the altar for them, so that they can come visit me. And it doesn't matter if I'm in Mexico, it doesn't matter if I'm here in Canada, just putting up the altar with all the different elements. It is just comforting thinking that my grandparents and my ancestors will come and visit over here. And then, of course, as with any other Latin tradition, there's amazing food. So we have a special bread that we do for Day of the Dead. And you know what? I either do it myself or I buy it from some people that actually know how to make it. And and then now, since cocoa came out, now my tradition is putting up my altar, uh, celebrating my ancestors, and then having some Day of the Dead bread and watching Coco, which every year I just cry because the movie makes me cry. So yes, I am sentimental at times, but not often. But those will be my two favorite holidays. How about you, Rishan? What are some holidays that every year you look forward to?
I think being an immigrant, we get so privileged because we get to celebrate our holidays from back in Nepal as well as the Western holidays. Definitely, wintertime is always good because you get to celebrate the Christmas festivities with your friends and family here. Although like I'm not Christian, we do like exchange gifts within our family. We set up a Christmas tree. So I guess that's part of like the you know integration into the Western culture. Whether it's like giving gifts to other, like friends or family, that's always fun. Or having like before COVID happened, we used to have like family gatherings and just invite people over for like a good like dinner. and
Mm-hmm.
then and then Christmas just leads into the New Year's, and New Year's is always great because I mean you have so much optimism and hope for the New Year's. Like obviously the last couple of years have been so with COVID, but it's always like a joyous occasion. And especially 2020 was supposed to be a new decade and new year, new beginnings, but clearly 2 months later after 2020, COVID pretty much wiped out a lot of the fun of holidays. But it's still a good time having family and friends over. It's just a good time to connect with people. And, even if you haven't spoken to someone in a super long time, it's always a really nice time to just like gather your thoughts, relax, be stress free. You don't have to worry about work and all that jazz that comes with it. And then the good food, of course, right? Like we all love food. We love eating. So whether it's a turkey dinner or just a simple meal, I think food is really good. And then, as a Nepali, some of the major festivals are Dase and Tihar. So the Dase is like the big festival that we celebrate in October, November. And then it leads right into Tihar, which is like Diwali and stuff, the
Mm-hmm.
festival of lights. That's always a fun time. Like being in Canada, it's a little bit harder because we don't have all our families here to, celebrate with us, but we do what we can. We do the prayers and we do like, different type of cooking, different like, I guess, snacks and stuff that we offer. And then as well as like Holi is like the festival of colors where if you were back in India or Nepal, you'd like throw water balloons at each other or like colors, like the paint powder at people and just have a lot of fun and blast. So I think it's here we try to do as much as we can, but like I haven't really fully experienced those festival in as like a big family since I was way back when I lived in Nepal as a young boy. But
Mm-hmm.
as an immigrant, I mean, you kind of get used to that, right? Like you can't be with your family all the time, so you do what you can do and just try to have fun.
Oh no, absolutely. And I think you put it in like the way you said it when you just started. It's just like I think yeah, we are definitely privileged as immigrants that we're able to celebrate both. I mean, I live on the Western Hemisphere, so of course I follow a lot of Western Christian, Catholic, holidays, but also like celebrating our own, like what comes from our culture. And I think, I don't know, it just adds something because even for like, I don't know, like for Christmas, like you said, like even though you don't celebrate, like, or you don't, in a certain way, in a religious way, celebrate Christmas, you put like in a certain way your Nepali, your brownness spin to it. And for us as Mexicans, we put, and as Latin people, we put our spin to Christmas. So Christmas as a POC looks very different than it would look like for other cultures.
Yep, and like I'm sure you like you being away from Mexico, me being away from Nepal, we've missed countless of holidays, but you like I said, you do what you can to fill that void, and sometimes it's not enough because you see all your friends and family back home celebrating it, to the full extent, but we realize we came here for a reason, and it's trying to find that right balance of being happy where we are versus still keeping our traditions and cultures from back home.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that is very magical. But with that, also with the holiday periods, either they're happening sometime throughout the year or during the big holiday periods, which are like the winter, but also the summer. There's also a lot of traveling involved, which I'm always down for.
Yep. So, I mean, that's the best part, I think. Like for me, even though we do sometimes celebrate the winter holidays, it's not as extensive. And I found myself over the last couple of years just traveling to new places to celebrate. One of my goals is to witness New Year's in various countries. So I've celebrated New Year's in Canada, I've celebrated New Year's in US, I've celebrated New Year's in Australia. So I just want to keep that going as like my own little holiday tradition. So I think traveling during that time is always fun because you can see how different countries celebrate Christmas and New Year's, or whatever it is, wherever you go, whatever they celebrate around that time. It's always fun to see, and you learn so much.
Oh yeah, it's just like there's just so much to learn from other places. And with traveling, you get to explore a lot. Like I said, for me traveling during the holidays period, like for Christmas and all of that, I usually save that and like I'll go back home. And then when I'm back home, what I'll do is, I'll just either stay in Mexico City just so that I can spend more time with family and friends, or I will also, in a certain way, decide to decide to go over to different places and visit little towns in Mexico because Mexico is so big. I think when you compare it to Canada and the United States, it is small compared to those countries. But when you compare it to other different countries around the world, we're actually a pretty big country. We have three different time zones, and we literally from corner to corner. I would say that will take like around a 5 to 6 hour flight if there was a direct flight from Tijuana to Cancun. So we're a big country and we're very diverse in everything. Like each region of the country has so many different traditions and culture and food, and it's just fantastic. And then lately I've just been every single time I go home, we explore a different region of the country or like a small little town, or we take the opportunity to go up north to the northern part of Mexico and visit my mom's side of the family, which, not gonna lie, sometimes it's the fun side of the family. But yeah, we decide to go up north and enjoy some of the festivities up with them. Or I just like to being a basic person like I am, and I just like to go to the touristy places and go either to the very touristy towns like Tequila, or going to very touristy beach areas like Ixtapa or Cancun and things like that, and be very basic and take grams for everything. But I think like for the time, every time I go home for the holidays to celebrate, I try to make an effort to go visit somewhere else in the country, either with friends or with family, because I part of it is just like I want to be able to visit all 30 states of Mexico. So that's one like in my bucket list. We're getting close to visiting almost all of them. I think I don't even remember at what point I am in how many states I've visited from back home, but that's one of my bucket list items is to have visited, like actually nice, not like just driving through one of the states, but actually like staying and visiting one of their staple towns, because that's always very nice. And then yeah, no, for me, well, it's not a holiday, but my birthday, it's a special day for me. Though I know there's some people out there that their birthdays are just another day. For me, sometimes they feel like that, but recently, in order to put a spin on it, I tried to make it my own holiday for myself that I invite people to celebrate with me. So what I've done is just during my birthday, because it is a spring summer birthday, uh, I'll just go on trips and celebrate my birthday that way. So one time I was able to celebrate it between Mexico and Costa Rica, which was fun. And then the next year I was able to celebrate it over in France, just doing some champagne tasting.
Yeah, I think birthdays is one of those like I don't want to say controversial, but it's like some people really love their birthdays, other people really quite the opposite. Whether you love it or you hate it, I think birthdays. I mean, it's not really a thing that like you can control because it's the day you were born. But I think birthday celebrations are always really cool because it does signify you're getting older. I don't know, like I know some people might not say that's a good thing, but like at the same time, it's like it's your milestone, it's your personal milestone in a world where and not everyone has like amazing milestones all the time, right?
Absolutely. And I think it's like a nice, like you just like New Year's, it's a nice reset. Like, okay, in New Year's, it's kind of like for like the calendar year, but then your birthday, I feel, at least for me, it's just like, okay, what did I accomplish on my last year of being alive? And what am I proposing? What am I looking forward for this next upcoming year of life? And then for me, it's just like a moment to like spend more, like it's just another day to having a nice excuse to do something fun with friends and family. And it's just like it depends how you truly celebrate your birthday, and like I mean, to each their own how you choose to do it. But for me, it just become part of recognizing myself and just looking like just using it as reflection time. But then it's one of those days that I'm just like, it's time to have fun. And then sometimes we go crazy, and you may or may not be witness to how crazy Andres can get during his birthday.
That's always a fun time. I remember celebrating your birthday. My birthday is during those university years, right?
Yeah, but I think that can be a story for another time because we have plenty of them.
Exactly. So we'll save that for another day. But yeah, like we were saying, like holidays are always a fun time. Obviously, for some people, it's like they prefer not to celebrate it for various reasons, and that's perfectly okay too. Like right, like everyone has their own opinions. Everyone's free to do what they want. And like one of the biggest things I think I see these days is like Valentine's Day. It's almost like a forced. I know some like I don't feel this way, but a lot of people feel that's like a forced holiday where you're supposed to do nice something for your significant other, and then so like the other side of that is people come up with like Singles Day the day before, the day after Valentine's Day, and it's like it's like just let people have fun. Like if they want to celebrate Valentine's Day, just let them do that. You don't have to like hate on them like celebrating something. Like maybe you might not agree with it the holiday or the festival, but I think if people are enjoying it, like there's no reason to like look down upon that.
Oh, absolutely. And like, you know what? That's the thing. Holidays, you can make your own holidays, and if they mean something to you, go for it. And yeah, there's like, I mean, we all understand there's capitalism involved in some holidays, but I think honestly, I am one of those people that like Valentine's is just like a meh holiday for me. When I was dating, it was like, yeah, you like put so much effort into it. When I'm not dating, I'm like, oh, whatever, just another day that the next day chocolate is going to be cheaper at supermarkets. So I'll just wait for that day. But it is definitely driven by, by a lot of commerce in that way. But with that, I would say with Valentine's Day, if you want to celebrate it, you can still do it with your friends because at the end of the day, we love our friends. So if you just going out on like a cute date with a couple of friends, it's also a nice way to celebrate Valentine's Day. Back home, how we celebrate Valentine's Day, even how we call it the day of love and friendship. So, if you're single, you can still celebrate friendship. So that's what we like usually do, even like during our school years. We do that. But yeah, no, like honestly, you do you celebrate what you want to celebrate. And as long as you're doing it in a safe way, it's all that matters.
Yep, and just celebrate what you want, and like you said, it's like whether it's like you come up with your own like little holiday to reset. Like any holiday is literally, and figuratively a reset, right? Like whether it's Canada Day where you just have the day off and you just want to not worry about work, or you want to get away and go do something, or like Thanksgiving and Christmas is perfect time to like learn how to cook like new things, and you can go anywhere and learn those. So it's like I think holidays in general, like whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Dasei, whatever you want to celebrate, do it, and don't let others really get you down. And if they're like, oh, I don't celebrate that, like that's okay. Like people can do what they want, as long as it's not hurting anyone.
Exactly. I know. Yeah, that's the thing. The one holiday that I do have a bone to pick with is it's Cinco de Mayo, and that's just because I am Latin and I'm allowed to complain about this because I am from that culture and I am from the country where Cinco de Mayo originates from. So, just to set the record straight, like I do every year, because apparently every year everyone needs to be taught this. When it comes to Cinco de Mayo, it is not our Independence Day, so don't know who put that out there, but once and for all, it is not Mexican Independence Day. It is just a battle that we won against the French. Yes, we won the battle against the French people. We went for a war because we didn't want to pay certain things, and part of that, we didn't want to pay the damages for a bakery and cakes. And yeah, it's very dramatic, but that's about it. There's a lot more history to Cinco de Mayo in regards to, in a certain way, Latin people trying to claim back some of their culture while they were living in the States. And that's how Cinco de Mayo became a huge thing in the States. But it is like back home, we just get a day off and it's only really celebrated in one state. And we just like it because, who doesn't like a day off from something like that? Uh, but it is not such a huge deal. It is more of a huge deal in the States. And honestly, I don't even celebrate it that much. And if I do, I just jump in the bandwagon and I go for tacos, which for some reason, apparently, it's super hard to eat tacos on a regular day like Cinco de Mayo. But yes, that's the one holiday that you'll have to have a bone to pick with. But it's not because people celebrate it, it's because one, certain kind of people appropriate the holiday, and two is just like the significance that people give to it. Like it's okay to celebrate it, but just understand why it's being celebrated.
Yep, and I know there's lots of misconceptions, about holidays, and that's what we're here for. Like break those down and lay them straight, right?
Absolutely. And I think like later on we can get into more of a conversation of what culture appropriation is.
Exactly. And you know what? That's what life is about. Whether, you have a misconception about something small, something big, about this holiday, that holiday, it's about learning and unlearning as we do with pretty much everything else in life.
Exactly. If you're not learning throughout life, then I would say it this way, you're doing something wrong. Everybody learns something.
Honestly, Andres, this has been an amazing, topic, and we can go into so much, more details. And like both of us, we're what 18 episodes in. We can talk forever, but I guess one of the next questions I have for us is, what holiday would you like to learn more about? What do you like for future episodes, or for people maybe that are listening to us? They're not Nepali, they're not Mexican, they're not Christian. That holidays intrigues you, I guess.
I guess like one for me that holidays that really intrigue me. I would say one of them, honestly, is all kind of like the South Asian holidays, Diwali, Holi, and all of that. Just learning more a little bit more about the significance about them, because they look so colorful and they look so wonderful holidays. But of course, they do have a lot more meaning, like with any other cultural celebration. So I will want to learn a little bit more about that. And then on the other side, I will also want to learn more a little bit about Oktoberfest and where it came from, because drinking beer with a lot of pals sounds like a lot of fun, but I'm pretty sure there's more history to that. So you know what? If anyone can teach me about those, I'll be more than open to learning about them. How about you, Brishan? What are some holidays you're curious about?
I think that one of the ones that really stick out, especially now with like environmental concerns, is the Lantern Festival. It's a Chinese traditional, where you see pictures of people floating their lanterns, or I honestly don't know what it's made of. I think it's like wax paper, and like the heat from the candle makes it rise. But I think I really want to learn about that. I honestly don't know what it is. I think I want to say something with to do with Chinese New Year, if I recall correctly. But it's really cool to see all that, whether it's like celebrated in China or in the U.S., where people float their lanterns away.
I have not even heard about it. So
yeah, and I was googling some of the strangest holidays around the world, and one list showed me National Hugging Day, which is January 21. So if you're feeling lonely and January 21, you can hug someone because it is National Hugging Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as we know, some of the more quirky ones are Pi Day, right? March 14th, 3.14. World Star Wars Day, May 4th, aka May the 4th be with you. Another cool one I saw was that September 2nd is International Bacon Day, so eat as much as bacon as you want, I guess. Another one I saw was International Talk Like a Pirate Day, which is September 19th.
That way I'll be like, arg me.
And there's always, I mean, the best thing about holidays is just the food, whether it's eating all the chocolate on Valentine's or Easter, or cooking a turkey dinner on Thanksgiving. I think food is the best part. I know there's deeper meanings to each holiday, and like you should respect that one way or another. But food is always a good reason to celebrate.
Oh, yes. Wherever there's food, you can find me or you can invite me. Don't be a stranger.
And so yeah, there's like you can just Google different kind of holidays, and one of the ones I just saw was National Buffet Day is January 2nd. So you can celebrate New Year's on January 1st and go all out and eat your heart away on January 2nd.
Hey, you know what? That's completely fair. And I'm pretty sure you will need to soak up some of that alcohol.
And one thing I just also saw was July 7th, so a couple days away, is actually National Fried Chicken Day. Now, national, I think this is based on America, so maybe other places don't celebrate it, but like we said, the holidays are just a way to reset, to enjoy the food, enjoy the company, enjoy whatever you can think of. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the holiday itself. Just have fun.
Oh, if it's fried chicken, I'm lining up at Popeyes. That's what I'm gonna do now.
We all love our Popeyes.
We do. But I think that's a pretty good conversation. And yeah, there's holidays for everything, which is amazing.
Absolutely. And you know what? And if you can think of any holidays that we, didn't touch upon, or that you want us to do more research and talk about in future episodes, let us know. We're more than happy to do that. It's always good to learn more things.
Exactly. But other than that, let's start wrapping it up like a Christmas gift.
That was a good one, though.
So what are you looking forward for this week?
You beat me to it. This week, just getting back into the groove of things. It's a full work week starting today, Monday, July 5th. No long weekend for another month or so. We gotta love the walk weather. At least I don't think there's any heat warnings for the next week or so. I think it was actually supposed to rain a couple days this week, which is a welcome sign. I love rain. I love sleeping in the rain, thunderstorms. But I honestly don't have anything specific I'm looking forward to this week. How about you, Andres? What are you looking forward to this week?
I'm looking forward to the rain. I also love the rain, not thunderstorms, but just the rain, just the scent of it. It's just such a nice scent, so earthy. And after the heat wave, I'm okay with that because we need to chill it down. And you know what? I'm looking forward to hanging out with a lot of friends. That's something I'm excited about. But also, as I'm packing, just discovering some memorabilia that probably I haven't seen in a couple of years. So we'll see what comes up while I am packing. And if it's something interesting, I'm pretty sure you can find it on my Instagram because I'm gonna put it on my stories because that's the person that I am.
And yeah, if you think of any cool memories that as you're going through stuff, definitely bring it up, and we can talk about that in future episodes as well.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure I'll find a lot of treasures from university.
Can't wait to hear about it. But that's all for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in week in and week out. We love putting on the podcast for you all. We've got a solid base right now. People listening, people sending us questions, people, telling us how much they love listening to us every morning. And, we love hearing that. We love hearing, we're all human. We love hearing the praise, and even the feedbacks that come with the praise. We love hearing that positive, constructive criticism, whether it's telling us to talk a little bit more smoothly, not as rambling on, because sometimes I know I ramble on quite some time and it might get boring, but hopefully we've done a pretty good job of limiting that, and you've enjoyed listening to us talk.
Exactly. And your feedback, comments, suggestions, everything is welcome. So you can always find us on Instagram and Twitter at the 2 Average Brown Bros. That's where you can reach out And you know what? We're always there for you. But thank you again for tuning in. We truly, truly appreciate it. We have a couple of months into doing this, and I can say for both Rashang and I that we really, really enjoy it, and we really, really, we're really happy with people listening to us.
Absolutely, yeah. So, like Andrea said, if you have any comments, concerns, questions, crybaby stuff, DM us. Slide into our DMs. Our DMs are always open. Let us know. We'll address it with you. We'll address it on the show. And if you want to be on a future episode, we'll definitely put you on. I think we have. I know I've been saying this for the last little while, but we will be having guests on pretty soon, and we'll talk about whatever their interests are, topics that we've chosen. Maybe we'll do get to know you style interview question like we did for Andres last week, and whatever it is, let us know. We're 100% down to do it.
Exactly. The more the merrier, because it's a party. But other than that, thanks for tuning in, and this week I will catch you next Monday. Bye.
See ya.